It's BK the Barber, man, and today we're going to come with a low taper freestyle design tutorial. First thing I do with every low taper is I come in with that 3-guard, and I just create that shape. And I come in with my trimmer, create that bald line, come in with my clipper all the way open, put in about a finger length guideline. I'll come in and I'll hit that a few times just so I can get that guideline in there set perfectly. Then I'll come in with my clipper all the way closed, flick out that bald line, just kind of tap that bald line out, come with my clipper halfway open, go straight to the next guideline. Then I'll pretty much come in with my 1.5 all the way closed here, pretty much kind of touch into that 3-guard. I'll come in with my trimmer here, kind of sketch a perimeter, create like a nice C curve. I'll tap this a few times. I'll create it a few times just so I can get it nice and crispy here. It's kind of what I do with every taper, just so I can create a nice perimeter for me to go back in with my one. I like to go with my one about 1.5 way open, just kind of flick that into that 1.5. Then I'll come in with my half guard, come in with that all the way closed, flick that bald line out. And as you can see, sometimes that middle bald line won't come out with that 0.5 guard. So I'll have to come in with the clipper all the way open and just kind of corner flick that. Come back in, just kind of touch up that C curve a little bit more, make sure that it's popping. All right, now we come on to the other side. And this is where we go back in with that 3. We create that low taper shape. Come in with that trimmer, create that bald line. Come back in with my clippers, go all the way open. Come back in, clipper closed, flick that bald line out, halfway, flick into that next guideline. You can kind of see I'm kind of stretching the skin with my middle finger. The reason I do that is just so I can kind of get into each individual hair. Next up, we're going to go in 1.5, 1 halfway open, tapping, just corner flicking. You can see here, straight, creating that perimeter. Every single time after I put that 1 halfway open, I'm doing that C curve. Just creating that perimeter. You can see right there, that C curve buns. But watch, later on in this video, we're going to come back and fix it up. 0.5, all the way closed, clipper open, tapping that bald line out. Both sides didn't come out with that clipper. You can see I catch it right here, that C curve. Boom. Crispy. Then we're going to move on back to that back side. And just how we start with both sides, we're going to start with a 3-guard, all the way closed, just kind of flicking right into that occipital bone. And when I mean occipital bone, I mean right where the back of his neck pokes out. We're just going to kind of create this taper shape back here, create a nice canvas for me to pop in a nice freestyle design on. Next, we're going to come straight in and do this design. I wanted to do like a very symmetrical like cross design here. And because he said he wanted something with a cross. And all these designs I do, most of the time, I say about 80% of the time, they're all freestyles. They'll tell me they want like some type of initial or a cross or some type of something like that. And I'll just finesse something. So basically with this, you can kind of see, like with every design, you want your designs to be curved or arced, because you don't want to put straight lines on a curved head. So basically right here, I'm kind of going with like a symmetrical kind of like Z wavy design. So I'm going to put the cross right here in the middle. I almost actually thought about making this cross 3D, like, but then I was like, I don't think I might have enough space for the other design that goes right next to it. Because basically what I want to do here is match that same design on the left, on the right side of the cross. So right here, I'm just kind of making my lines fatter. Making my lines pop a little bit more by putting in the corners of my trimmer there. And just kind of using it like a pencil. Using my trimmer literally like I'm writing on a piece of paper. I'm pushing lines out thicker. I'm pushing lines out so that they pop a little bit more. Just to kind of make a nice rough draft for me. Rough drafts are huge with designs. Because you're pretty much always going to go back over with either a foil shaver or a straight razor. Just to kind of make those things pop even more. Alright, we're going to come over on this other side here and try and pretty much match this this design on the left. The same on the right side. Doing pretty good so far. This was honestly super tough. Because you can kind of tell that like both sides of his head, like, they aren't the same. You can tell that one side of the head is kind of a bit more concave than the other side. So we're just going to keep kind of corner clicking, making that design pop a little bit more. Throwing this swoop. This swoop was super tough to kind of put in there. Kind of rough drafting it. Then we come back in with our trimmer and we create that bald line for our back taper. And basically I'm going to do this so I can kind of like get ready and make those lines pop. So first I'm going to come in with my clipper all the way open. I'm going to create that finger width guideline right there in the back. Then I'm going to come in with my clipper all the way closed. Fade that bald line out, come in halfway, fade it up to the next guideline. Do the same exact thing on the other side. Then we're going to come in with our 1.5 and kind of just flick right into that 3 guard. Kind of still just creating a nice canvas back there, creating a nice shape for that taper. Then we're going to come back in with our 1 halfway open. Just kind of flick straight to that 1.5. And then we're going to come in with our half guard all the way closed and just flick that middle line out. Just kind of pop that gradiency a little bit more, make it pop a little bit more, and make the lines in the design kind of just pop out a little bit more. You can kind of see I'm lever playing and just like punching in where it's darker. Then we're going to like line up the perimeter. And when I mean perimeter, I mean the line that goes behind the ear and drops down and lines up with the shoulder blade. Another reference point, shoulder blade. You can pretty much tell that the line goes right in to the end of his shoulder blade. We're going to do the same on both sides. This kind of just creates a nice like perimeter for the like design to just pop. And then we're going to come in with our foil shaver and just make sure that the lines are kind of coming in popping. We'll kind of like make sure that this taper is popping a little bit more with a little bit more lever play. We'll fade in this line right here just to kind of like make this curvature like pop a little bit. Then we'll come in with our foil shaver and we'll just kind of make sure that these lines are really standing out. Push them out a little bit more so that they're kind of thicker. Kind of just put it in the 1 blade foil shaver and just make sure that these lines are really coming out nice. Then we'll come in with our white colored pencil here and just kind of draw in the lines. But you can kind of see after we draw these in, it looks like very like light, like it looks very white. So you want to come back in with your fade brush or whatever brush you got and kind of just like fade the whiteness into the hair. Like kind of just lighten it up a little bit so that it pops. And then we'll come in, we'll do our texturing techniques. We'll do lots of point cutting around the whole head. I started on the back with this one just because I saw a lot of bulk back here. We were maintaining length while getting rid of some weight. And boom, just like that, man, we got you with that BK Blzzzap. Look at how that design's popping with that platinum hair. Sheesh. Thanks for watching, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.